And it's the Chicago game, Chicago Wolves.
Makes sense.
All right, time for Hoop Scoop now, folks, because that's what everybody in Des Moines is talking about. The NCAA tournament. Round one has been completed, and we need to find out what the Cop Man thinks of that. Larry Cotlar joining us.
It was fun yesterday. In fact, I was talking to Adam Flack, you know Adam, at the Iowa Event Center. I was just wondering, I said, what's the attendance? He said, well, for the night session, it was 16,777. Which is pretty darn good. I have no idea what the top attendance figure has ever been at Wells Fargo. I don't know if you guys know that, but this is pretty good.
That's probably pretty close.
I was gonna say, I think 17 is like
pushing
packed.
Yeah,
like because they're already adding seats in where there's open spaces. So.
Now we were mentioning earlier this morning with the different colors of the floors that we talked about here. You can tell which game you're looking at based on the colors of the floors. They were bouncing around. You change channels and you can see the different games going on. Hands down, Wells Fargo was the most packed.
Really?
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see much else. You know, when you're at an arena for a regional, you don't see much else going on. I mean, you could pop into the media room or every once in a while like a live look-in. I mean, the only bit of the Iowa State game I really got a chance to see was they had a live look-in at halftime on the big screen.
Okay.
But that's it. Other than that,
okay. They won.
Yeah, I know they did. You know, it was interesting. It was interesting. There was one time yesterday. You remember the Baylor-Yale game?
Oh my gosh,
going on.
down to the last second.
That was exciting.
All right, this is going on, I think, at the same time that we were at halftime with Kansas and Austin Peay, right? So they showed it on the screen. Everybody's watching it. And then all of a sudden, because they have to show the game that's at your location,
right?
So there's like 10 seconds to go in the game. And they on the big screen, it suddenly flipped over to, get your NCAA merchandise here. And the crowd started booing like you would believe. And finally they had to put the game back up, and it was just funny because we were watching up in the press box and we hear this big, everybody hears boo, and it was because they had switched the screen back, taking the game off, but they put it back on.
Okay, good for them.
Because that was one of those that it literally
it
could have gone either way.
Oh
it
yeah,
came down.
Definitely. You know, and the games yesterday at Wells Fargo were not riveting games. I mean, the first game, the only game that was close was the first one. That was Colorado had a 9-point lead at halftime, and then UConn came out in the second half and exposed their turnover after turnover after turnover by Colorado. They started making some shots. UConn did, and they won the game. Final score was 74-67. The other three games were blowouts.
Yeah.
Kansas won 105-79 over Austin Peay. It's nothing more fun than sitting in the arena when the Austin Peay, you know, their cheerleaders, you know, they know what their cheer is.
No idea.
Oh yeah, their cheers. Let's go Peay.
Yeah.
Let's go
it
Peay.
is not.
It is not.
Whole game.
Seriously?
I would have went to the game to see that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. They had the crowd doing it. Let's go Peay.
No
oh
idea.
yeah. That's their cheer.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was. It was funny. And then you had Indiana beating Chattanooga 99-74. And I thought Indiana's performance was the best of the day, especially in the second half. Man, they were. I was even talking to one of the players afterward. They were just on fire. They did everything. They had 23 assists. They shot 65% from the field.
They took control.
Yeah, and 63% from three. I mean, Tom Crean talked about it. He said, "Man, that's
from the field.
That's great stuff." And then Kentucky beat Stony Brook 85-57. It was interesting. I was in the locker room talking to some of the Indiana people, and I get back out there and I look up at the scores. They're like 11:20 to go in the first half, and it's 10-10.
Right.
I thought, did we stop? Did we take out the 30-second clock or what?
The first half was pretty good. I mean,
yeah, it was close.
Close, meaning it was close. And I have to give Iowa a lot of credit. But there was a good Kentucky section.
Yeah, there was.
But everybody else who was just there to watch, they kind of got behind the underdog, and they were really cheering Stony Brook. And then the second half happened.
Well, and then Stony Brook couldn't shoot anything because Kentucky ended the first half like on a 38-16 run or something like that. It was just because Stony Brook shot 19% in the first half. You're not going to win too many games doing that.
No.
So now the schedule sets up like this. Saturday, tomorrow, 4:15 for the first game. They can move the games according to TV because they want to see who's going to get the bigger viewership. First game is Kentucky, Indiana, which resumes their series. They discontinued the series 4 years ago.
Wow. That's going to be a big audience.
Yep, huge audience. So that's the first game. At 6:45, it's Kansas and UConn. And Jackie, you mentioned, and I'm glad you said this because a lot of people have been saying, you know, Kentucky, Indiana's the big game. Kansas, UConn, you know, UConn, Kevin Olly's never lost because when he came in a couple of years ago, won the NCAA title, he's 7-0. I wouldn't discount UConn. I still think Kansas will win, but you kind of give them a game.
Let's see.
All right.
Okay,
Now,
good.
now Iowa State won yesterday, and like I said, you guys probably saw more of that.
That
we
was
didn't
a
see
fun
much of
game
that.
to watch.
Yeah.
It was.
Everyone was saying that it looked like Niang was making sure their team at least made it to the next round.
Yeah.
He was really stepping it up.
Yeah, again, talking about taking control, he took control too.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. That they were stung last year by that loss to UAB, and they all said,
And
well,
they kept
we took
bringing
them
that up too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They kept bringing that fact up.
Well, and the Cyclones talked a lot about that. I mean, they talked about how much that stung them last year because they thought they could go a long ways, and then they get upset in the first round. So now they get to play Arkansas Little Rock. That was one of my upset picks yesterday. I got lucky with that one because they came back
I only
against
picked
Purdue.
it because you mentioned it.
Well, good. So if you win a pool by 1 point,
it's
That's
you.
it. That's
It's
the
you.
point.
So I went with that one yesterday, and they pulled that one out in overtime. No, double overtime.
Double overtime.
Double
Two of them,
overtime.
yeah.
So now Iowa State will play Arkansas Little Rock. I can't tell you what time. I have no idea. And then today you got Iowa at I think it's 2:10. They're taking on Temple,
Right.
which we hope will be the first game of their Philadelphia Invitational. because if they
You're calling it.
well, because if they beat Temple today, they move on to the next round, and probably Villanova will be the team they'll play.
All right.
So back-to-back Philadelphia team. By the way, Jared Uthoff is on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Just thought I'd share that for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's not a curse or anything, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
This is just talking about some of they talk about his shot blocking abilities.
Good.
Then you got Northern Iowa tonight,
Right.
and they've got at 8:50. We've got Texas and Shaka Smart. No relation to Shaka Khan, as far as we know.
Yeah,
Too bad.
He's a very popular guy.
As far as you
He
know.
is, as far as I know. But I'm going with Northern Iowa. I mean,
Yeah.
just about everybody I've read has Northern Iowa upsetting Texas tonight. Seriously.
And a lot of people having Northern Iowa as being the team to watch.
Yeah,
too,
exactly
because
right.
Because they're in the clutch. They're so good in the clutch.
Oh, no question, no question. It was interesting if you watched the Selection Sunday show when Seth Davis was going over some of the brackets. He kind of went by that game. He kind of just pushed Texas and didn't really say anything about it. Then he had Texas taking Texas A&M in the next round, and he kind of just glossed over that one. But a lot of people have said, hey, Northern Iowa has a good shot with this one.
I think so too.
So, and there's one other thing I wanted to mention. The WNIT is going on, Women's NIT.
Right.
Drake beat Sacred Heart last night, 95-59.
Yay.
You know where they're playing next? Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa went to Nebraska and beat the Huskers 64-62. So now, for the third time this year, Drake and Northern Iowa will play.
That's awesome.
7 o'clock tomorrow night. So we know that an Iowa team will advance further.
Right.
And now Northern Iowa won the first 2 games this year. They won both games earlier. So we'll see if, obviously I'd like to see Drake win. But I have nothing against Tanya. Tanya Warren, the head coach at Northern Iowa, is a Des Moines Lincoln grad.
All right.
So good luck. Somebody's going to win.
Someone's going to win.
Someone's going to win. But
All right, notice your shirt here. Of course, that's
Yeah.
what Cotman's radio show is on every week. Tell everybody what time.
it's on from 6 to 7 on Thursday nights. Normally, sometimes gets bumped to 4 to 5, but normally it's on from 6 to 7.
There you go. We got a good shot of your shirt. Move your hands. Move your hands. There you go.
There
There it is. There it is. All right, perfect.
Loud
There you
proud.
go. Awesome.
Branding.
Good job, my friend.
All right.
Get some rest and then go back and have at it again tomorrow.
There you go.
All right, buddy. Thanks,
And
man.
don't forget hoops and hops. That's going to be downtown.
Yeah, by the way,
Coles
don't know what
Commons,
hoops and hops are over at Coles Commons. We have a big party atmosphere all set up and big old tents, parking. You need to get over there. And some people from way out of town said they came over because they heard of all the great craft beer around town. So big space, all set up, very cool. And of course, all the flags are flying over the big tent too. So
And remember, you can't drink beer at the arena. They will sell
Right, so you
beer
have to
during
go-
an NCAA event. They will
Right.
not sell beer.
Last night they had a ton of food trucks lined up as well. So get some food, get some drinks, enjoy our city.
Sounds good.
that'd be good.
Have a good weekend, guys.